It was never a kiss that woke her. It was the sound of something gnawing deep beneath the floorboards, hungry, patient, ancient. They still tell the sanitized version in warm nurseries: a prick, a spell, a century of sleep, a princely rescue. But travel east of the Rhine, into the mist-slick hollows where the old tongues survive, and the story curdles on every lip. Lanterns dim, voices lower. They call it Briar-hewn, the tale of the girl whose dreams were not her own, and the thing that borrowed her mouth. I have seen the sealed letters, the brittle parish logs, the red-stained diary pages smuggled out of that kingdom before its map was scrubbed clean. Tonight, I will read them aloud. Keep a light burning, keep your door latched, and whatever you do, do not fall asleep before the end. King Aldrich and Queen Isolde were not cruel people, only desperate. 11 stillborn sons lined the crypt, each one colder than the last. When a hooded midwife arrived unbidden, carrying a spindle carved from black yew, they led her into the birthing chamber without question. "Let the child's first breath be drawn through the hollow of the wood," the woman whispered. Her voice sounded like pages turning, life in exchange for dreams. They agreed before understanding the price, and so Princess Aurelia was born, heart beating, lungs strong, eyes impossibly wide for a newborn, as though she recognized every face in the room. She did not cry. She laughed, soft, gurgling, delighted. The candle flames guttered sideways at the sound. You know the feast: golden plates, silver goblets, a hall of swaggering nobles. You've heard of the 13 fae invited and the one slighted. Lies. There were no fairies, only magistrates and clerics. But 12 wise women, keepers of the veiled path, arrived in secret, hoods stitched with iron filings. They inspected the child and smelled cinders on her breath. "This one dreams with an open door," the eldest warned. "Bar it, lest something step through." The queen laughed politely, already intoxicated by the miracle of a living heir. The king ordered the spinning wheels burned anyway, wishing to appear prudent. The smoke that evening tasted sweet, like roasting fruit, and no one remembered seeing the midwife leave. Aurelia seldom slept long. When she did, servants said the mirrors fogged even in winter. Soft scratches pattered inside the walls, ra-ta-ta, ra-ta-ta, a loop that never matched the rain. Twice wet footprints appeared beside her cradle. Thrice the night nurse woke to find the infant sitting upright, lips moving as if repeating lessons. No words came out. Yet something answered, sighing from the rafters. At dawn, the princess told her mother of towering forests she'd never seen, of bonfires stoked with bones, of a window made of skin that opened only inside her head. The queen ordered tutors to foster an imagination. One confessed later that the child could recite prayers in languages predating the chapel itself. He slit his own throat a week later. The body was found gripping a skein of crimson thread. The kingdom prepared for Aurelia's 16th festival with forced cheer, all wheels destroyed, all needles confiscated. Yet an attic, long locked, had been missed. There, behind a chest of rotted linens, a single spindle slept, black yew, polished as if freshly oiled. Some say the spindle hummed a lullaby, others swear it whispered her name through the knotholes. I've read the guard reports, no signs of entry, but a smell like sulfur and lilacs clung to the stairwell. The princess found it moments before midnight. Witnesses heard her sigh with relief, as though meeting an old friend at last. She pricked her finger. Blood welled, thick, darker than it should be. She tasted it, eyes rolling white. Then Aurelia exhaled, and something inhaled for her. The court physician called it slumber. Nonsense. There was no peace in that bed. Her body lay untouched by time, true, but muscles twitched beneath silk covers. Each dusk, doors rattled on their hinges. In the silence between seconds, the castle echoed with ragged breathing, too vast, too wet, too close. One maid who lingered heard nails clicking across the nursery tiles, pacing. She fled, hair grayed overnight. Another felt the princess's pulse under her palm, rhythmic as any living heart, yet her veins ran cold. No one questioned why the king's hounds whimpered and tore at their own throats until they choked. Word spread beyond the walls, briar-hewn they called it, because thorn hedges clawed from the soil, fed on unseen fertilizer, climbing the battlements in a single moon. Every rose that bloomed bled from the stem. Travelers avoided the valley. Birds veered south 2 months early. The sun, legend claims, lingered at the horizon like a timid guest. Time stretched thin, but it did not break. 79 winters passed, then 80. The royal line withered. The outer villages forgot their liege and named new lords, yet the castle remained untouched, gnawed only by briars that never died. Inside, chambers stank of stagnant candles and something metallic. Portraits watched emptier halls, and in the highest tower, the girl who should be Ash remained 17, lashes trembling. Sometimes her mouth opened in perfect silence, a fish gulping black water. If you pressed your ear to her chest, you did not hear a heartbeat. You heard spinning wheels, ra-ta-ta, ra-ta-ta, threading sinew through hungry wooden teeth. Finally a rider arrived, not a prince, but Brother Silas, a defrocked monk reeking of myrrh and salt. He carried no sword, only a satchel of saints' relics and a journal bound in flayed calfskin. The peasants muttered about prophecy, but Silas scoffed. "I have no interest in kisses," he said. "I am here to make a lock." He climbed the vines, oblivious to thorns tearing flesh, mumbling verses older than Rome. In the throne room he saw ghost ribbons of former courtiers, arched in mid-celebration, skin glossy as wax. Their glassy eyes tracked him until he passed. Up the spiral stair, past tapestries shredded by claws too large to be human, he reached the cursed bedchamber. Moonlight sliced the room into opposing mirrors. The princess lay on embroidered sheets, palms crossed. A smile tugged her lips, faint as a crack in porcelain. Brother Silas approached, placing relics in a circle, finger bones, iron nails, vials of desert sand. He began the litany of severance. The temperature dived, frost latticed the canopy. Aurelia's eyes snapped open, pupils swallowing iris. She spoke 3 words, "You're late, butcher." Her voice layered, girl, woman, beast, storm. Silas flinched, yet continued chanting. The circle flared gold, then guttered to embers. The mattress bucked. Aurelia levitated, limbs jerking as invisible wires lifted her. Her laugh, remember the newborn laugh, returned, but drowned now in snarls that bent the air. Silas drew a spindle of white ash, reverse of the yew that started all. He drove it toward her sternum. She caught his wrist mid-thrust. Her flesh was stone, his bones splintered. "Dreams are doors," she purred, "and doors are meant to open." Shadows peeled off the walls, forming serrated wings. The monk screamed a single syllable before his throat compressed under unseen talons. His reliquary shattered, scattering sacred dust none recall. The circle broke. Silence followed, so complete the roses outside ceased bleeding for the first time in a century. At dawn, locals found the vines withered, leaves calcified. The castle gate yawned. Inside, every sleeper awoke, confused, unaged, alive. Brother Silas lay at the stairfoot, eyes burned hollow, face serene. In the tower, the princess awaited, roses braided in her hair, cheeks flush, demeanor angelic. She claimed faint memory of a delightful dream, no monster, no song. The kingdom erupted in joy. A dutiful prince soon married her, though some chroniclers note he arrived after the awakening yet was credited in the royal ballads. The world cheered, desperate for a happy ending. They never asked why the briars died, only to grow again beside every crib in the land. They never questioned why, during the coronation feast, the Queen Dowager collapsed, clutching her ears, shrieking, "I hear spinning!" Aurelia governed with a smile sharp enough to flay. Taxes doubled, dissidents disappeared, throats threaded shut with red cord. At council, she drifted off mid-speech, eyes fluttering as if catching distant lullabies. Whenever that happened, candles bent toward her, flames pinched into claws. Children born under her rule shared the same odd laugh. Disney would later rename her Aurora, paint her cottage pink, surround her with singing animals. They sold porcelain spindles as toys. They buried every original transcript beneath glitter and orchestral swells. But the true documents endure, in monasteries, in lockboxes, in the restless dreams of archivists like me. Last week, renovation crews unearthed the remains of Brother Silas's journal beneath castle rubble. Its final page is scorched but legible. I did not come to slay the beast, only to chain it. But it has learned my lock, turned my wards, and now wears the girl like a velvet glove. If this book is found, know that she does not sleep, she only waits, and each dreamer who sinks into slumber becomes a thread in her spinning wheel. Pray your thread breaks before dawn. I write these lines at 3:08 a.m. A minute ago, the ceiling above me creaked, a slow, deliberate ra-ta-ta. My lamp sputters, shadows lengthen. If I close my eyes, I feel a fingertip prick, the warmth of blood, the hush of a cradle. So I will end where every lullaby should. Do not kiss her, do not wake her, do not dream of her, because she is already awake, and she is counting how many heartbeats remain before yours stops.